hello everybody from Zagreb, Croatia. So today we're gonna go check out some museums. So first, we're going to the Museum of Broken Relationships. So we're gonna go check that out. Second museum we're gonna go to is the 80s Museum in Zagreb. So we're excited to see, I guess, what the kids thought the 80s was like to how it really was according to the museum. I think Amanda will be able to tell us a lot about the 80s because she spent a lot of time there, unlike this young buck, just spent a little bit of time in the 80s. Well, hello, young man. What do you think the 80s was like?
I don't know. There's Chuck E. Cheese. They were in the windows.
Who was in the windows in the 80s?
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chuck E. Cheese was in the windows. Anything else you think about the 80s?
You know the dog and them.
So, Chuck E. Cheese is where it's at for you. What about, do you think they had Roblox?
No.
Do you think they had computers?
No.
Man, do you think the 80s sounds like a fun time?
Yeah.
Why do you think it was fun?
Because Chuck E. Cheese.
That's all you need, as long as it had the cheese, baby. What do you think about the 80s?
I just know that they have really good snacks.
They had good snacks in the
sweets.
80s? What snacks and sweets did they have in the 80s?
I don't know what we're going to call them.
Cool. All right, Charlie, so what do you think the 80s was like?
Well, Cyndi Lauper, Girls Just Want to Have Fun, was made in the 80s. Madonna was born in the 80s. They like neon stuff and big hair.
Do you think they had the internet?
I don't know. I don't know too much.
TBD. But they had good music? Do you like that music?
Yes.
Cool. Well, we'll find out. Woo! We'll see, but we look forward to you guys coming along with. We may check out some lights and some different things after, but a day in Zagreb, and as you can see, it's cold. I don't know if you can see my breath on camera, but it's a little bit chilly. So we are going to bundle up, but we're gonna have a great day. So you, right there, come on, come in, let's go. All right, so since we've been here, I've heard about these tunnels that go under the city of Zagreb. So since we've been here, I've heard about these tunnels that go under the city. So we were walking to the 80s museum and we looked to the left, looked to the right, we did a spin, and then boom, right behind us we saw the underground tunnel. So we're gonna go check it out real quick, a little hidden adventure. And there's Ryder Man and beautiful Amanda and the children. So let's go in. That's a perfect replay. I thought we were in rewind. All right, so we're in the tunnel and it echoes. So we remember from going on our tour that these bunkers were built during World War II because the tour guide said Croatia was on the wrong side of the war, so they were afraid that the city was going to get bombed, so they built these tunnels underneath the city. So Amanda, being the keen observer she is, she found
a map of the tunnel. So depending where you want to go, you can go that way.
Wait a minute, are you saying you found, it's a map, it's the map, it's the map. Hey, swiper, no swiping.
Dora.
So this is just really neat. I mean, it's a simple tunnel, but it's a lot of fun. Amanda and I had a blast taking photos. And we just, I don't know, it's a fun tunnel, so it looks like it zigzags different directions through the city. So check it out, it's pretty neat. We like it, and just the history of it being a World War II bunker is awesome. So this looks like a mirror image, but it is just the tunnel splits into two different directions. So having a bit of a scarecrow moment.
Which way to go? It looks like a mirror image, but it isn't. But that way's nice. That way's nice too. But it doesn't matter which way you go if you don't know where you're going.
So we have arrived at the 80s museum and Amanda brought party earrings.
Look, we're going full 80s with these earrings. Maybe. Let's see if I can get them in. Going like full like Cyndi Lauper,
Who's that?
Debbie Gibson.
Who's that?
I don't even want to hear this one. So when Ryan and I were first dating, I was so upset because he did not know any 80s musicians, like no Pat Benatar.
I thought Pat Benatar was a friend. Ooh,
No,
beautiful.
Some bigger hair. I got my 80s look on.
Ooh, I
All
get my 80s look on too. There it is. What is it again? Schnapps. Schnapp. A schnapp shot. Shop schnott for the Advent as part of their promotion. We could film that. So here we are in the living room. Does this remind you of your parents' house?
Maybe. A little bit. The orange, I remember this color, this rust orange is on the seat behind you.
Yeah, the rust orange
That was big.
was
This
absolutely
yeah, the
huge.
rust orange was really big.
And then TVs that got a couple channels, and you did get a lot of static. We didn't have cable. But yeah, let's take the shot. So
That really just looks like you're decorating for Thanksgiving almost.
that
We
does.
always grateful in the 80s.
So here is to a courage-led life. Here's to adventure. Here's to no corona in 2021. Here's to that beautiful lady. And here's to you. And here's to life. Cheers. I was gonna say that also took me back to the 80s, but I would hope I wasn't doing schnapps in the 80s. That was brand new here. So yeah, we're gonna go check out the museum, but it's awesome. You can touch everything, you can feel everything, you can try on things, so it's a good time. I think Amanda looks like Maggie Gyllenhaal in that New York show. I don't know what it's called, so put that in the comments, but that's Amanda Gyllenhaal. So if we were on this world travel trip and we were doing it back in the day, this is the camera that we would have to use, and we wouldn't put it on YouTube, we would put it in our living room in your VHS. So smile.
Does it look?
Oh, I can see through it.
Yeah, but like you don't know what you're seeing.
Ellie, how do you use
First you
a
pick
rotary
it up,
phone?
right? You pick it up.
Yes. You have to dial 911. How do you dial 911? Whoa.
Hi. It's FTV.
Yay!
It's FTV.
So we just finished at the 80s museum. It was a lot of fun to try on stuff. It was a discount now because it was during Advent. You also got the special shop because it was Advent, just trying to do things to make it special. Did you guys have fun? Yes. Yay, so now we're on to the Museum of Broken Relationships. So we went from happy to now we're gonna go get sad. But be glad and come along with us. So we're at the Museum of Broken Relationships, and the kids were free, so that's perfect, good for a family. For Amanda and I, it was 30 kuna per person, so 60 total kuna, which right now that equates to about $10 US to check out the museum. The museum is actually a collection of different artifacts that people send to the museum from broken relationships. So we're gonna go check all those out and see if we laugh, see if we cry, and see what happens. But come along with.
Charlie and us thought this would be a little lighter museum, kind of funny, but it's a lot of sad things, some disturbing things, and some things that are just inappropriate for kids. So anyway.
C'est la vie. What do you think, Charlie? So we just got through the Museum of Broken Relationships and our tour guide on a free walking tour. I think he said it was funny, you would have some laughter and you would leave kind of giggling about the relationships, but instead, we're sad. That's super depressing. So unfortunately all the bars are closed, so we can't drown our sorrows. And also, we have children, so that can happen as well. So we're just gonna go look at Christmas tree, and we're gonna sing loud for all to hear. because that's the best way to spread holiday cheer. So let's go see a Christmas tree. Come with. So we are at St. Mark's Church, just outside of the Museum of Broken Relationships. And they have the Christmas tree all lit up. They have nutcracker ornaments. You see how beautiful the church looks when it's lit up at night. So Ryder's having a little bit of a tantrum, but that's all right. That's family travels. But other than that, he's been definitely a trooper. And I think Charlie has something to say.
Okay, so FYI, for the Broken Hearts Museum, when they say funny, they're just using it for advertising. It is not funny. It's sad, creepy. Would not recommend.
I would concur. Go to the 80s museum, but I don't know. Maybe if you're dealing with some stuff, go to that Broken Relationship Museum and it'll be uplifting. Charlie said definitely don't go if you're dealing with stuff. So go get happy. Sing Christmas carols. Come to the church.
So super excited because we actually got mulled wine, which we didn't think was going to happen because the Advent, Ryder's chilly if you hear him, he's ready to go, we're about to hit the tram, but they had some mulled wine over here opposite one of the Advent setups. So anyway, cheers.
Cheers. There's cold Ryder.